Well, hello, my friends. Today I'm going to share with you a new dish that I discovered. It's by no means a new dish, but it's new for me, creme de semolina, or semolina porridge. Some people say it's like grits, some people say it's like cream of wheat, but it is a nice, luscious, comforting, hot cereal that is pretty cheap and easy to make, so I thought that I would share it on this cold winter's day. You start with a medium to small size pot in which you add 1 cup of water and 2 cups of milk over low-medium heat, and you want to bring this to a gentle simmer while stirring it. Add a nice dollop of butter, that's a tablespoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt because that butter was unsalted, and stir it until the butter melts. And yeah, so you want to keep this moving. You don't have to stir it constantly. Like if you're getting ready in the morning or something, you can stir it for a few seconds and then go brush your hair, and then stir it for a few seconds and then go brush your teeth. But you do need to babysit this. And eventually the butter will melt and it will steam. What you don't want is to not stir it at all, because then your milk can scorch. And as you see here, I let it boil just a bit too much and I walked away a bit too much. I was getting ready. And also here, do what I say, not what I do. This is semolina flour, 1/3 of a cup. It's the same kind of flour they make pasta out of. And I poured it directly in there without a whisk on the heat, which is all wrong. I should have removed it off the heat and steam up my camera lens. I should have removed it off the heat with a whisk like I'm doing right now. What I did when I did that incorrectly is I made some lumps in my porridge. But it's all good, okay? I didn't have to start over, I didn't have to throw this out. I worked out most of the lumps with the whisk later, just now, and you can see it's pretty smooth. It should be kind of like a eggnog consistency at this point, and then you want to keep stirring it, again, just so it doesn't scorch. Make sure you steam up your camera lens. That is a very important part of the process. And once it starts very gently bubbling away like this, that is when you need to give it one more stir for good measure. Turn down the heat to super, super low as your stove will go. I did not turn mine down low enough, as you will see later. And you want to cover it with a lid and cook it for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes have passed, if you accidentally had yours a little too high like I did, you may have a skin and there may be some more lumpage at the bottom, but it's all good. As I explained, you don't need to throw it away, just stir it vigorously and most of the lumps will work themselves out. And even if there are some lumps here and there, I actually don't mind them so much. They're like little surprises. The first time I made this, it was perfect, by the way. It's just the time that I happened to film it was the time that I messed up a bunch. But, even with messing up, you can still see how nice and luscious it is. Kind of like grits, kind of like cream of wheat. Cover it with a lid and let it stand for a couple minutes before serving. And when you serve it, you can do a lot with this. You can add honey or sugar. The first time I did it, I added a little honey. But I had a feeling I'd prefer it without. And yeah, I prefer it without. It just tastes like buttered noodles in porridge form, which I think is awesome. And behold, it's steamy, porridgey, semolina-y goodness. So yeah, in spite of all the mistakes I made in this particular video, even with making a bunch of mistakes, it still turns out really delicious, really luscious, really hearty, and I hope you make it. Thank you to my patrons who support this channel. I hope you're all staying safe and warm and wearing your masks and having enough to eat, and I'll see you next time.